Hey everybody, it's Suzanne again. Welcome to my yoga video blog. Today we're going to work with a yoga sequence specifically designed to stretch the outer hips, open the outer hips, and to work with the IT band. The IT band goes all the way from the outside of the hips down and out through the side of the leg and down to the knee. And this tends to get really tight, particularly for people that sit a lot, as we do here in our Western culture. And just to let you know, this week what I've got coming up in our yoga video blog is I've got another great sequence for core work that I think that you're going to love. I've got a couple really healthy recipes, including a super yummy veggie sandwich, and I will be having some audio meditations as well. So let's come to the mat, cross the right ankle over the left knee, the right ankle over the left knee. And so this is a variation of Marichiasana. We're going to take the hand on the outside, so the opposite hand, the left hand, is going to come to the outside of that right knee. And so typically in this pose there's a twist that happens, but today we're going to be less concerned about what's happening with the twist and more of just drawing this leg in towards the midline. And so you get this stretch and this nice intensity right through the outside of this leg and the hip. And if you want to take this even a little bit deeper, every yoga pose is something to customize. You can just lean in the direction that the knee is pointing. And then go ahead and come on up. We're going to stack one knee on top of the other, one knee on top of the other. And so that right leg is going to be on top. Now, for many of you, this is not going to work for the knees. The hips won't be open enough at this point to be able to do this, or the knees are going to stop you. Remember, in yoga, you always want to be at a place of perhaps working with slight discomfort, but never ever distress. So you never want to distress the body. And so if that doesn't work for you to stack the knees, you can always open this up a little bit more into whatever place that you need to, or to use blocks or blankets to support you here. And if you happen to be more advanced yogi, you can stack one knee on top of the other and then even take the feet further out towards the sides. And then nice deep inhale, you can take the hands back behind and support the back here and lengthen up. And then as you exhale, either work where you are there, or you can take this into a more forward folding position. And so this really gets right into the outsides of the hips. Breathe into this. So the opportunity, whenever you come into forward folds, is really to breathe into the back body. And then as you're ready, go ahead and walk yourself back up. So we're going to take that top leg, that front leg, and we're going to swing it back behind. Coming back behind onto that leg. And so we'll come into a modified pigeon pose. And so for full pigeon pose, the hips are a little bit more squared to the front and squared. But for this, we're going to work on taking the weight over to one side and just feeling how that stretches the hips, and then taking the weight over to the opposite side and just noticing. Always being aware of that knee. You don't want to cause any distress in that knee. Inhaling and breathing back to center, and then maybe walking it down a little bit here. And then the same thing again. You can take the weight and fold the body a little bit more over towards one side. And notice the stretch that you get here, and then the opposite side. You can take these poses nice and slow. Or you can work alongside me and just maybe do the routine a couple times. See how that works for you. And then go ahead and walk yourself back up. As you come back up here, we're going to place one hand in front and twist and turn to one side. And maybe look back a little bit. Maybe that hand just comes a little bit over. Maybe you can reach that hand all the way back. And then change sides. And lengthening up. And then coming back. And so we'll go ahead and swing that back leg back around. And we're going to pick up that leg here. And so the right hand can scoop underneath that right leg that's on top. And you can hold on here and just rock the baby side to side. It's like you're rocking a baby. So letting that leg come more over towards the midline and then letting that hip open up to the outside. It's nice just to work here. If you have the flexibility, you can hook that foot on the inside of that elbow and work it side to side here. And then from here, if you have the flexibility, you could even draw this in a little bit more. So squaring off that leg and drawing it in towards the body, you get this deep, deep intensity right down on the outside of that right hip. Never taking it further than what you need to, what works for your body. Deep breaths, and then go ahead and release that down. And let's change sides. So we're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee. And then take the arm, you can take the arm to the outside here and then use the elbow to help draw that leg in, or you could just take the hand. And again, this is a variation on a twist pose, Marichyasana, one of the Marichyaasanas. But the emphasis today is less on twisting the spine and more on drawing that leg in towards the midline, or even crossing over that midline more. And maybe even leaning in the same direction as that knee points for a little bit more intensity. So you be the judge of that. And then inhaling, coming up, and then we'll stack one leg over the other. And again, you may need to open this up more and make modifications. Everything in yoga is customized, is modified according to our own unique needs. And then maybe you just work staying here, or if you'd like, go ahead and with a nice length in the spine, walk the spine forward. Relax the eyes. You may notice that one side is tighter than the other. Just take note. And then on your next deep inhale, go ahead and come on up. And then we're going to take that top leg, face more towards the top of the mat, and then feed that leg back. Make any adjustments that you need to here. If you need to prop yourself up onto a block or a blanket, have something underneath you, that's perfectly fine. If you have more flexibility, then you can take the heel a little further away from the body. We're not looking for so much symmetry today in this variation, this modification of pigeon pose. We're looking a little bit more for just feeling what it's like to take the weight from one side, breathing, Maybe pausing here and to the other side. And feeling where you get the stretch and the intensity in the pose. And perhaps walking forward. For a lot of people, it feels good to walk the body forward, not for everybody. And then again, taking the weight to one side and just noticing. And the other side. Coming back to center. Walking the hands back up. Place one hand in front and take the opposite hand back and twist and turn and look back. And then maybe take it to the opposite side. Always watching out for that knee. Nice and easy, let the eyes be soft. And walking it back. And then we'll push into the hands a little bit here and let that back leg swing back forward. Picking up that leg, and you can feed the left hand down and under, and then just rock it from side to side here. If you have the flexibility, you could hook that foot into the elbow and do the same thing. And then even perhaps drawing that leg closer in. And then releasing that down. And then go ahead and take the leg straight. Let there be a slight internal rotation of the thighs. Knees are right up to the sky, big toes are right up to the sky. Let's hook the heel in between the big toe and the next toe. And then with the opposite hand, take that hand across somewhere on that leg and let that bring you into a twist. You can even push through the pinky toe for a little bit more intensity with that. And coming back to center and then changing sides. So we don't always look for symmetry. It's more important just to have the experience and to experiment with how poses feel and make modifications, make adjustments, discover, consider it a discovery. Nice deep breath. And coming back to center. Folding the legs in, so you can either work here in Sukhasana with the feet working down towards being underneath the knees, or if you want more challenge, you can stack one foot on top of the opposite knee. I like to push into the hands and lift off and lengthen. Let the tailbone ground back down, lengthen up through the spine. Stay working here. Or go ahead and take a forward fold. Maybe your forward fold is here. Or you could take that deeper. And then inhale and coming up and change the cross of the legs. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.